Hey, what's up guys? Mac is the Monk here, and today I'm going to be doing a Mistweaver Monk guide for PvE. I'm going to start off by going over the stat priorities, and then I'm going to go over talents. For this video, I'm actually not going to go into depth about the other talents that I'm not taking, but I will make another video to go in depth for the people who want to see that. But just for length purposes, I'm going to make a shorter video now for all the people who are just looking for basic and not as detailed, but you know, basically telling you what you need to do as a monk guide. So like I said, I'm going to start off with stat priorities. Stat priorities for Mistweaver Monk and PvE at this moment in time is multi-strike, crit, haste, versatility, and then mastery. Right now, crit has really always been good for monks. It was even good for Siege of Orgrimmar. So that's, I mean, it just makes your heals heal for more, because as you know, Surging Mist doesn't heal for too much, but with that extra crit, you can get up to, you know, 60k heals, 60k through 100k, so it's really good. Multi-strike is really good because, you know, you get extra heals, extra ticks, so it just makes it really good. Haste is alright. I mean, lowers the GCD, casts more Renewing Mist, and yeah, versatility, it's just an all-out healing / damaging buff. So, really, it's not as good, but I think next raid, it'll be a lot better and more useful. And then mastery right now isn't that good, just because, well, I mean, I guess it's good, but it's the lower stats, just because mastery scale is really high for Mistweaver monks, so you don't need a lot of it for it to really be effective, and that's why it's on the lower end of the stat priority. Now I'm going to go ahead and go over the talents. I'm just going to go over the talents like I choose, like I said. I go with Tiger's Lust as 20-yard range and increase your movement speed by 70% for 7 seconds, removes all roots and snares. For my 30 talent, I go with Chi Burst. Chi Burst is really good for AoE raid healing. It's a lot better than Chi Wave, I personally think, because it's a more controllable heal, and that's why I go with it. You can get, with the multi-strike and crit, you can get some crazy heals with it, and one time casting you can get up to like 400k heals, so it's like a mini revival if you do it right. The next one I go with, personally I choose Power Strike, so you can choose Chi Brew also. It's just as effective, I guess, but Chi Brew is a little more, you can really use it whenever it's really needed. Power Strikes is basically just a chi increase all the time, therefore increasing your heals, making you have to do less Surging Mist or any of that to get chi. That's why I choose it. I personally like it better. For next talent, this one's optional. I go with Leg Sweep. I think Leg Sweep's better just because it's like just an aerial stun, and it's stun for 5 seconds. Works real good on fights like Korag and Imperator. Next one I go for is Diffuse Magic. Diffuse Magic goes hand in hand with Dampen Harm. They're both damage decreases. So, but Diffuse Magic, it just reduces the magic damage you take by 90% for 6 seconds. So basically you take no damage from magic. You can really save yourself a lot, like say on Mythic Twins, if you happen to get a few more stacks of Blaze than you're comfortable with, you can go ahead and pop it and take literally no damage from it. So it's really useful. The next one I go with is Invokes Wind. The reason I go with this over Rushing Jade and Chi Torpedo is just because Invokes Wind, it adds a little extra damage, and for progression, all the damage you can get is good. Usually healing's not too big of a problem. Monks already are really good AoE healers, so you don't really need Rushing Jade Wind. It's still good, Rushing Jade Wind is, but I think that it just takes a lot of mana, and it's a lot easier to consume mana, or not consume mana, keep your mana for a longer period of time with Invokes Wind, and then that extra damage is really nice. The next I go with is Pool of Mist, sorry. Really this is always going to be the talent you choose in Mistweaver Monk. This one's really not optional. It makes it so your Renewing Mist has 3 charges, and that's nice. I mean, that's 3 chi right off the bat, and you can basically get the whole raid up with Renewing Mist, and then you can do uplifts on basically the whole raid. So it's really effective, it's really nice, and also makes it better for fist weaving, because right now fist weaving is very effective. Really every monk should be doing it, and I'm gonna go over that in a little bit. But now I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the glyphs and all that, and I'm gonna go a little bit over the rotation, even though Mistweavers don't really have rotation, as any healer doesn't. It's all situational, but I'm gonna go ahead and explain it. I go with Glyph of Soothing Mists. Makes so you get a movement increase for 60% for every 1 second you cast it. So if I cast it for 5 seconds, I will have 5 seconds of 60% movement increase, which is really nice. Makes it a lot easier to dodge things and all that, and if you really need to move quickly, like say twins, to get in on the enfeebling roar, it just makes it a lot easier on top of your roll and Tiger's Lust. Go with Glyph of Renewing Mist also. Increase the range that Renewing Mist may travel by 20 yards. It just makes it a lot better for AoE healing. You can heal people who are distanced for your Soothing Mist and all that. So it'll make it so you can uplift people who are 40 yards away and whatnot. So you can basically always be healing the raid no matter where they are. Then I go with Glyph of Fortuitous Spears. This one's not really needed. You don't have to take this one, but I personally go with it just for a little, like it's a little buffer between death, because whenever you drop below 25% health, it'll automatically give you a healing sphere, and that can heal you up for like, if it crits, you can get like a 60k crit, and basically it's like you never even dropped. So that's why I choose it. Minor glyphs don't really matter, they're all cosmetic. So now I'm going to go ahead and go over really the healing rotation and what you should be doing situational. First I'm going to start off with Renewing Mist. You always want to have Renewing Mist on the raid because there's always going to be damage coming out. It's a lot of mana, but with Monk's mana regen, it's not that bad. You can have Renewing Mist on the whole raid, uplift everyone, get everyone up fast. So it's really good to have Renewing Mist on everyone. Soothing Mist, you want to go ahead and heal people who are taking moderate damage. Soothing Mist is actually really powerful if you can cast it on someone. On top of your statue, your statue will switches targets too. So you could be Soothing Mist a tank, and say a melee takes damage or a range takes damage. Your statue will go ahead and switch to whoever takes more damage then. So you can be healing 2 people with Soothing Mist at the same time. Really, you want to use Chi Burst whenever there's AoE healing going out and you can hit a majority of the raid. That's when you're going to get the most heals per second out of it, and that's when it's going to be more effective. Surging Mist, you really want to use Surging Mist really only to heal people who are taking a decent amount of damage whenever it's kind of spiky. You want to get 3 Chi to end up being able to Enveloping Mist them. Usually you should only have to Enveloping Mist the tanks if everyone's not standing and stuff. So really you only want Enveloping Mist when you know there's going to be a lot of damage coming out on a single person, just to basically keep them topped off. And really that's it for your actual healing. You want to use like Nimble Brew whenever you can. Like say if you get rooted or snared, you just want to use that to get out of it. So like on Korag, whenever he does the Frost Orb and it slows you, you can use Nimble Brew, or you can use Tiger's Lust to get out of it, because Tiger's Lust also removes roots and snares. And for Expel Harm, you want to Expel Harm whenever you take damage. You can't heal people with it because I didn't take that glyph and it's really useless. So basically you just want to use it whenever you start taking damage to get an extra 2 Chi off of it, or sorry, 1 Chi off of it. Well, actually you can get 2 with Power Strikes, but if you're not taking that, you just get 1. But it's a pretty moderate heal. It can heal you up halfway if you get crits or a multi-strike. And then as an orc, I have Blood Fury. I use Blood Fury really whenever there's going to be a lot of healing coming out, just to really increase my healing output. And then you want to use Fortifying Brew whenever a lot of damage is coming out, just to reduce damage and get that extra stamina so you have a little more health. Now I'm going to go over Spinning Crane Kick. Spinning Crane Kick is pretty situational. You don't just want to use it blindly, because it's a lot of mana and you can go really fast. Even though we have Mana Tea, you can still go as a monk. I know it's hard to believe, but it happens. You just want to use it whenever there's AoE damage and you can heal, you know, like 5 people with it at a time. Otherwise, it's kind of worthless to use. It's pretty moderate healing. It's nothing amazing, but it can help. And it also generates tree if you hit more than 3 targets at once. And then Life Cocoon. You want to be using Life Cocoon on someone who's going to be taking a lot of damage, and you want to you want to dual Life Cocoon with an Enveloping Mist, top them off really fast, and then Life Cocoon. Like say if they already took damage, and like say they have a dot on them or anything, you just want to Life Cocoon them if it's that much damage, and then you want to Enveloping Mist them to get them up right away. So that's that. Really everyone should know how to use a Mana Tea. You want to try to keep as many Mana Teas as you can. Obviously don't waste it whenever you're at full mana, because that's just a waste. And yeah, you shouldn't go that often, but like I said, it does happen. So you want to try to keep about 15 Mana Tea over the fight. Like the whole time you want to have at least 15 constantly. Sometimes you can't get that number, but it's good to try to stay around that number with it. And you want to use your Thunder Focus Tea to get that 5 stacks of, or not 5 stacks, but well, actually yeah, it'd be 5 stacks of Renewing Mist per one charge. So you do a Thunder Focus Tea. It gives you 5 charges, and so you can get a little more Renewing Mist on people. And then you want to use Uplift whenever there's, you know, high or moderate damage going out on the raid. Just to get everyone up quickly. It's really effective for AoE healing, because that's all it is. You should never be using it if only one person's taking damage. That's just a waste. It's a waste of chi. So, and obviously Revival. Usually you want to Revival, say like on Karag, you want to Revival when Shadow comes out. You want to Revival whenever people are taking a lot of damage. So after a Quake and Pulverize on Mythic Twins, you want to use a Revival to get everyone up as soon as possible, because soon after that there's going to be Enfeebling Roar. So usually you only want to use Revival if everyone's around like 45% health, and that should get them up to at least 90%, if not full, depending on their item level because of the health. And then you want to use Diffuse Magic whenever you're taking a lot of magic damage. Like I said, you can switch it out with Dampen Harm for different fights, but you want to use Diffuse Magic whenever there's a lot of magic damage going out, say like Twins, another good fight. To give an example on, whenever Quake is going out, you can use Diffuse Magic to reduce damage you take. But really you want to use it, like say if you get too many stacks of Blaze to save yourself. And use Invoke's Wind to get a little extra healing out. Always make sure you have your statue up for the what's it called again? Let's see. Imminence, that's what it's called. It does Imminence healing. That's a Fistweave type of healing, really. And from your Win, it just does a little extra healing to everyone that's in range of it. So it adds damage and heals people. And basically that's it for Mistweaver. That's really about the Mistweaving part. Now I'm going to go over Fistweaving. Fistweaving you want to try to do on every fight. Some fights is a little harder than others, but a great fight for Fistweaving is Imperator. Really on Imperator, because there's not a lot of damage going out until about phase 3. You want to be Fistweaving until then. One, it'll get you up to 20 stacks of Mana Tea in no time, and it's a great way to keep your Mana Tea up to around 15, like I was saying earlier. So Fistweaving is very effective. It's kind of needed to keep Mana Tea. You don't always have to do it, but I highly recommend it just because it really makes it a lot easier to keep your mana up, and it adds a lot of damage to the raid. You can burst up to 25k DPS and keep a sustained like 15, 16, maybe 17k, which is pretty good for a healer. So you want to Fistweave whenever possible, and I keep Chi Burst in my rotation for Fistweaving just to get that extra healing out during the raid if I'm still Fistweaving, if there's any sort of spiky damage that I can heal most of the people up with Chi Burst. And I actually use Detonate Chi when Fistweaving to add even more extra healing. It's not really good for Mistweaving, but for Fistweaving it's very effective. You can heal for 70, 80k with it and hit a few targets. Not a lot of healing, but it always helps. You want to try, for fist weaving, you always want to keep up your crit buff. Whenever you blackout kick, it gives you a crit buff, a 20% crit buff, sorry. And then you always want to keep your tiger palm up. It just increases damage, and with a crit it makes you do a lot more damage, which equals out to more healing as fist weaving. So really, that's about it, guys. I don't think I missed anything. I'm pretty sure I went over everything. Oh, actually, Surging Mist, you can get free cast of Surging Mist. That's instant, cost no mana. Really, you just want to use that whenever someone's taking damage in your fist weaving. And actually, you can switch out of fist weaving form and then go into Mistweaver with the free cast, and you can use it to get more healing out while Mistweaving whenever there's a lot of raid damage. But that is the basic guide, guys, for a Mistweaver monk. Like I said, I'm going to come out with a more advanced and detailed guide for the people who are looking for that, and I'm really going to go over the other stats and talk about them. So that's it for this guide. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned anything. If I left anything out, just leave it down in the comments, and I will try to correct myself. Again, thank you for watching, guys. This is Macros Monk signing out.